Started. So, what is the question?
What is intuition and illumination?
What is intuition and illumination?
What is the difference?
What is the difference?
What is the process?
Illumination means light. Okay. Okay, this room is, when I switch off the light, there's darkness. When I switch on the light, there's a light in the room. It's called illumination of the room. Now, illumination of the mind, what is it? Okay. So, mind is in darkness. We have a buddhi, intellect, and manas at a lower level. Manas and buddhi. Okay. So now, darkness is there in the mind and darkness is there in intellect. What is the darkness? I don't know what is reality. Satyam is not known. Right? I am living in an unreal world. It's like I am in a dream, but I don't know it's a dream. I am living in a Maya world. I don't know it's Maya. So then I think everything is real. I suffer. Right? So that is called darkness. Not knowing what is reality is called darkness. Okay. So that's why in Bhagavad Gita there's a shloka. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrit sayami. What is nisha means darkness. For all living beings, a gnani is one who is awakened. He is awake. That's why many of the symbols of gnani is owl. Owl, the owl is owl. The owl is that bird owl. It sees in the darkness. So gnani, okay, sees in the darkness of Maya. He is awake in that sense. Now, all living beings are Jagrati. They think it's real. They think this is Jnana. Okay. Now, what you call as Jnana is Adnana. Understand? It's a Mithya Jnana, wrong Jnana. So, Jnani has understood, I am the Jnana Swarupa. All Jnana is nothing but perceptual knowledge. There is a perceptual knowledge, there is a conceptual knowledge, there is a transcendental knowledge. The perceptual knowledge is because of sense organs, conceptual knowledge is because of mind, transcendental knowledge is your real nature. Okay. So now we start living the perceptual knowledge and conceptual knowledge as real. It is not. Right? For example, that person sitting there, I call him as Rama. Okay, where Rama we are taking as an object. But Rama is not an object. Rama is the consciousness. I cannot see. It's a transcendental reality. So the mithya, appearance I start taking as satya, and satya I don't know. This is called adnana. This is called darkness. Where is the darkness in the mind? Darkness in the mind. When the mind, problem with the mind is mind doesn't even know that I have darkness. Okay. And whatever I see as real. So then start chasing the objects because I want to be happy. I want to get something in the world. Mithya Jnana, you take as Satya, and then you start living as reality. Try to capture objects of the world to get happiness. So now the mind has to be eliminated. Means you have to understand the objects of the world are not real. Okay. So now how do you know? Through only Vedanta Jnana, Viveka and Vairagya. So this is a progressive elimination of the mind happens. Mind will not suddenly will wake up. Okay. So there is an effort. Neti, all those things effort will come. Okay. Now, illumination has happened. Illumination is happening. It's progressive. It cannot happen overnight. Right? But when the clarity of the intellect comes, illumination is sudden. Otherwise, it's a progressive. Still is a concept. World is mithya is concept. Brahman is satya is concept. The concept has not become reality. In that sense, really illumination has not happened. But you are getting some relief. That's called purity of the mind. Some relief is happening. But real illumination happens when there is a realization. That is called enlightenment. Okay. So now you recognize the enlightenment. Enlightenment happens at the intellectual level. Illumination is happened to the total mind, conscious mind and subconscious mind. Right? So some amount of illumination happens. our subconscious impressions start coming out, unconscious impressions start coming out. I recognize them. Okay, these are subconscious impression, unconscious impression, I recognize it. That means you become more and more aware of your mind. That's a progressive elimination, but doesn't solve the problem because sense of self-identity is there still. Sense of the world is real is there. Progressively are getting out of that, but it's a progressive elimination, but it's not full elimination. Full elimination happens when the intellect is eliminated. Intellect Adnana goes. So Brahma Satya, Jagan Mithya, Aham Brahmasmi, Sarvam Khalu Jnana very clearly is established in Buddhi. So then what will happen? Now there's no more effort to eliminate the mind. Intellect is the master of the mind. So now, in the intellect, there's an objective knowledge. Knowledge is the object, right? The world is there, subjective. That's called objective knowledge. Intellect has thoughts. But I exist, is it a thought? I exist is a thought, but it's intuitive knowledge. Nobody has to say you exist or not. You know, by intuitively, you know I exist. Somebody has to come and prove that you exist. I exist is thought, but I exist is known to you intuitively. It is not known to me. It doesn't require. Intuition means from inside I know. Existence, I am the exist. I exist. Nobody has to tell me. I am aware. Nobody has to tell me. Right? I exist. I am aware. That's why whenever I speak of I am, I'm making a statement. I exist and I am aware. So that is intuitive knowledge. Thought is coming later. Thought, intuitive knowledge appears as thought. But intuitively, you know, I exist and I. Nobody has to teach you. I exist. I am aware. Now there's a problem there. My intuitive knowledge is confused with the body and mind. I exist and I am aware. We speak. If you ask, why do you say you exist? Because body is there. I exist. Right? So your intuitive knowledge is mixed up with the body and mind. Okay. Now separate out the intuitive knowledge. What is real existence? Did you exist before the body and mind existed? To say body exists, I existed. So that is pure existence. So now that knowledge, pure existence only I am referring to as I am. That understanding is pure existence. I have already intuitive knowledge. Okay. Then clarity comes in the intellect. That pure existence is real I am. Real I is pure existence. That is called enlightenment. And when you are enlightened, illumination of the mind happens. Now, does it mean that all part of the mind gets eliminated? No. Some part of vasanas may remain. Hidden vasanas may remain. If in sadhana, pure sadhana, if he has become more and more aware of the mind, a lot of vasanas are cleared. But illumination may not remove the full vasanas. But illumination gives him full clarity. So in that sense, some vasanas may remain, residual vasanas. They'll continue to base prarabdha karma. Illumination, intellect, inhibition, and intuition, is it clear?
So, in the process of intuition, is it a gradual process? Is it like even when you are not eliminated, you get some intuitions?
No. See, intuition, we are confusing intuition with the extrasensory perception. Intuition and extrasensory perception are two different things. Okay. So now we are speaking. Is a question intuition. The question is about intuition and extrasensory perception. Okay. So when you say extrasensory perception, our sense organs and mind are limited. Our sense organs and mind are limited. Many people are able to read. Do you have telepathy? That means they can read, they can see, they can So many people are able to read somebody's mind. These are called siddhis. Okay. Many people are able to see remote viewing, some telekinesis ability. These are all called extrasensory perceptions. So there's a perception still. There's a still perception. Perception is there's an object. All siddhis are possible when you are still in the domain of Maya. Okay. A Gnani, he has no siddhi because there are no objects for him. Right? So intuition and extrasensory perception will mix up many times. Intuition is here, intuition about my existence, my awareness, we call it intuition, spiritual intuition. right? So people say, I got intuition that tomorrow the accident will happen. So that's the extrasensory perception that we are mixing with intuition.
That's not what Jnana is.
So Jnana is when they speak of intuition, I exist and I am aware is your intuitive knowledge. But you are mixing up with the perceptual knowledge. The body is there, mind is there. So that you are mixing up. The intuitive knowledge is wrongly taken in that sense. So any questions? Intuition and illumination is clear?
So what one thing is the intuition, there are two types.
Intuition, when you speak of intuition, people speak of intuition. See, tomorrow a guest is coming to my house. I have intuition. That's called extrasensory perception. Okay, your mind is not available to your mind. It's still a mind's ability of the mind, right? So now I exist and I am aware is not extrasensory perception. Extrasensory perception is about objects. The intuition, I exist and I am aware, is about the subject, myself. So when the spirituality, when you speak of intuition, we are speaking of I exist and I am aware. That we call as intuition. Not siddhi, not somebody is coming or I am able to read your mind. They are all called siddhis. They are possible only in Maya. Jnani has gone beyond Maya. Right? Is the question clear? Any other question on that? Intuition, illumination is clear? Illumination is a progressive clarity about the mind. Deeper and deeper layers of mind become more and more visible. The deepest layer of mind is nothing but Adnana. I am something exists beyond. There's a duality. The basic what I call belief system. Something other than me exists. That's the basic belief system. That's the deepest level of the mind. So now everything becomes transparent.
Gradual illumination. Final illumination is what?
When you get a final clarity, then it's a final illumination. So the final illumination happens at the deepest level of mind, where there's a concept of duality, the sense of duality, the belief that there's a duality. That belief gets dropped. Right? So anybody has a question on the Zoom?
Hari Om Guruji, illumination matte illusion hege helbodalva. The removal of illusion is illumination.
Removal, full removal of illusion is called enlightenment.
Andre, I mean, a word suit ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, but illusion ಹೋಗ್ಸೋದೇ illumination ಇಂದ ಅನ್ನೋದು.
ಅಲ್ಲ, illusion ಅಲ್ಲ. Before you realize the illusion also, illusion continues, but you become more and more aware of the mind and thought. Thoughts are still real for you.
Ade.
Illumination. You are becoming subconscious impressions, deep-rooted vasanas, you are becoming aware.
ಹೌದು.
Still called illumination. Illusion has not gone there. Illusion go with Jnana.
Illusion ಕಾಣೋದಕ್ಕೆ illumination ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು.
Illumination is more about the purity of the mind.
ಹೌದು.
Illusion will go when the clarity of intellect is there.
Correct.
That clarity of intellect is called Jnana, enlightenment.
ಹೌದು. Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody has any questions? Can you stop recording?